When they talk about turning your serve into a weapon, this is what they're talking about. Look at this kick serve from Ben Shelton. Can you see where that ball is right now? It's way up there. It's actually taller, way taller than Daniel Evans. So what we're going to go through today is we're going to take a look at the elements of the Ben Shelton serve. We're going to also go on the court today, guys, and give you some drills so that you can build your own Ben Shelton serve. Probably won't be as good as Ben Shelton, let's just be honest, but it can be better than it is today. So let's get into this video. So before we get into analyzing, I just want to show you, this is another serve he did in this practice session, and you just saw the one that went way out wide. Imagine being able to back that up with a slice serve that's absolutely massive, that, as you can see right here, which is really cool, you have this board that has the line, and the ball is breaking on the opposite side of the line. So your opponent, in order to return the serve, would literally have to go into the ad court when you're serving to the deuce court. Again, just purely mind-blowing what this kid can do with the serve, and then he can just, rip one at you 149 miles an hour, basically right into your body, wherever he wants to hit it. So let's get into just what are the great fundamentals that he has. Things that you always want to look at that all the pros do, not just Ben Shelton, but I love how pronounced his arm is right there, his toss arm. Just let's follow it all the way through. Look how high it raises up there. Very much like an Andy Roddick. His serve really reminds me of Andy Roddick a lot in the way that he's so explosive, in the way that he gets so far down. So that's one of the things we're going to work on today. But if you're a recreational player out there, just focusing on this arm, if you could take nothing else from this video, getting your toss arm up there, because so many recreational players, I'm telling you, I do so many lessons with you guys, and your arms will be pointing out this way, you drop it right away down. And so obviously you're not going to be as explosive as Ben Shelton when you do that. And you're also going to hit a lot of serves into the net, which we don't want to do, right? We want to get that serve over the net. So by doing that and getting low and then exploding up, he's able to get the leverage over the ball and basically put it down in the court. And it doesn't hurt that the guy is, I think he's 6'4", so he's a big guy. So all this is really helping him. And then you can see from there, he really goes and explodes up. And when he's hitting, notice how he's hitting with full extension. That arm, when he's hitting, is fully extended. And then he's got like that Pete Sampras elbow break after he's done. See that? That little pronation move with the, you see how he's got it there? That is just absolutely awesome. And this reminds me of Pete Sampras, because Pete Sampras kind of had that look after he hit the ball. So we're actually going to give you a drill for that too today, so you can get a little bit of that in your serve. Again, I'm certainly not making any promises. I'm not delusional here, guys. We're not going to have the Ben Shelton serve, but we can definitely improve our serve by following a lot of this. Here's another big one. Everything he does, like if you watch the pros, they all kind of have these elements in there, but everything he does kind of, why it reminds me of Roddick a lot, is it's just more pronounced than most other pros, right? Like all pros do what Jeff Saldenstein calls elbowing the enemy. I love that tip. You see what we're talking about? See how that elbow's kicked out there? So if you imagine that somebody's coming up behind you, that you would get elbowed right here. If you were the perpetrator and you're coming to mug Ben Shelton, where he's going to get you right there with his elbow and knock you back. That's a big one, because when I coach recreational tennis players, guess where their elbow is lots of times. So this is where you want to film yourself. See where your elbow is. Lots of times your elbow is actually over here on the other side, okay? It's actually going the other way. So it would be, let me just to exaggerate, like your elbow would kind of be going like that, and then your arm would be going up to hit the ball. So you want to flip that just like Ben does and get out there. So we're going to give you a good drill on how to get in this position today as well. And then we notice how he's holding the racket Right here, he's nice and relaxed in his wrist. Let's take a look at it some frames back. Let's see how he brings his racket up, because this is another big one. Lots of people, they start to make the wrong move down here. You see how he's bringing his racket right away out to the side, where so many recreational players will either bring it down or they'll bring it this way right away, and the racket face also starts to flip open. We're going to see that for the longest time, his strings are actually pointed towards the net. Okay, so this just learning how to do this, just breaking this move down, which we'll break down on the court today together. You'll be able to get a better serve. Look at that. So again, think about your strings basically on the way up, still pointing towards the net. And as he rises up right here, then he's going to get into something I call the secret power source. Okay, and again, it's how we have our elbow here, and then the racket is going that way. Nice, relaxed. Notice how it's even lower than most pros. And we're going to see right now where he's at, and he's got a super deep knee bend, which we'll work on today. We want to find how low can we go and still be comfortable. You don't want to go so low like Ben here to where you're hurting yourself, right? Because then you're not going to be able to get out of there. I know a lot of people out there want to serve like Ben. I want to serve like Ben, but I'm now 50 years old, so I'm not going to be able to get down this low. But I want to go as low as I can so that I can explode up and get that ball. And so he's got a deep knee bend here, and notice where his racket still is. Another key thing to being able to hit big serves is he's going to keep his racket on the hitting side of his body. He's not going to have it flip back here in the racket drop yet. The earlier you get back here in the racket drop, okay, so if your racket's back here super early, before your legs explode up to hit the ball, then guess what you're doing? You're leaving power on the table. So this is like the best example we have in today's sport as like a huge serve. We know he can pump it up to 149, guys. Terrible 149. Okay, but we know that's what he can do. And he's going to hold this racket on the hitting side as long as he can. Just imagine like shaking up a bottle of Coca-Cola and holding it there as long as you can. Then when you open it up, boom, it explodes. That's what he does. He holds the racket here as long as he can, and then when his legs get ready to explode up to the tennis ball, this one he's going to flip back into the racket drop. Watch it right here. Now his legs are going up. Boom. Look how that works right together. Legs up, racket drop back, and then as we can see, he's got that really deep racket drop. And again, comes into, we can all get our racket. Here's the good news. I have no flexibility. I'm certainly not flexible like Ben, but I can get my racket to drop down and face down that way. That's good, but I can't get it as deep as he can. I mean, this right here, what we're looking at, this comes from a lot of flexibility work and youth on his side, all that kind of stuff. Another thing I want you to notice is look how he has his hand tucked in. This is once you go from raising your arm up, where you want to do so you can kind of propel that. Watch how his hips and everything kind of rotating in the ball, right? Really exploding in this. The way you want to control that explosion and make yourself go even faster is to do a little bit of a tuck. See how his arm is tucked down here. Lots of pros, and Ben might do it as well. I'm not sure. We'll see. They finish with their arm out this way. Oops, sorry. Just make sure I get that. They finish with their arm going this way at the end, but they tuck first, and lots of times we miss that. Okay, but we could see go for the tuck. See, he's really tucked into his tummy now. Then he's going to hit it. He's got his Pete Sampras finish, and now he brings that arm back. He doesn't really do the Andy Murray. Andy Murray likes to show you his arm and make it straight and kind of point back that way. But there you go. And then notice the landing. The landing is going, look at the perfect balance. Here's his foot. Here's the tennis ball. It's basically following. They're right in line. So that's another thing. The more your landing foot can be in line with the tennis ball rather than being all off balance, the better control you're going to have. And then we can see how he's got this big leg kick, which, again, for most recreational players, I would not get obsessed with this final move because, yeah, if you have great balance, you have a super strong frame, You can practice this, but if you don't have great balance and a super strong frame, trying to copy this big leg kick at the end, you're just going to throw your balance off. And again, we're going to be hitting a harder serve. We can follow all these elements, but we're not going to be hitting Ben Shelton bombs, okay? It's not going to be that big. So by focusing on this leg kick, you're probably going to throw your balance off, and you're not going to be ready for that next ball coming back. Where Ben can land like this, stick the landing, and then he can be ready. See, he's using that landing. He's going right in for a serve volley. And again, look at this, guys. Look at this right here. That's amazing. So we've got a lot of information, a lot of inspiration. Let's hit the court and let's do some drills. All right, so are you ready to build a bulletproof tough serve like the great Ben Shelton? What we're going to do is we're going to break things down into progressions, and you're going to see that a lot of this stuff is training and not talent, just to get the basic moves down. Obviously, Ben Shelton's extremely talented, but we can do a lot of the moves that he can do step by step. So when we watch that video, one of the most important things was his first move. And we noticed that he didn't do what a lot of recreational players do. A lot of recreational players, they go like this. Pay attention to see if you do this. If you come back like this, then look what happens. You go right into that classic waiter tray. So coming down here and up there, we don't want to do. So what we want to do instead is we saw that when Ben Shelton was serving, we noticed that his racket face, right, was actually facing towards the net on the way up, okay? So here's where it comes down to. You're like, well, I don't know. I have this move back here. I'll never be able to fix that. It's so tough. Watch this. Do this. Can you do this? Can you just watch this? Just do this. Do this with me. I'm sure you can do this. Just give me a little hello like that. Stop eating your Cheetos. Take the Cheetos off of your face. Actually, get off the couch and just see if you can do this, because this is important, right? Just being able to do that. Now, look, if I put the racket in my hand, I shake hands with the racket, and I just go like this, all of a sudden, I'm starting out that Ben Shelton move. Now, the thing is, though, is this not moving your elbow like this. You actually more want to pull up with your shoulder. So now what I want you to do is pretend that you have a box, and with your shoulders rise up, okay? You're going to rise up with your shoulders, and you're going to be like straight with your tossing arm, and then this arm's going to be a little bent and relaxed. So it's going to look like that. That's going to be your first move. That's going to, see how we're starting to build that into that Ben Shelton serve. So just doing that for a couple of minutes. I bet if you just went out to the court today and you just worked on that progression I just gave you, you would stop doing this and you would start doing this, because it's really not that tough to do. And again, remember, this elbow's a little bent, this arm's straight. Pretend that you're lifting up a box. We're lifting up a box, and then we're going to bend at that time. So now the next thing we're going to work on is that beautiful offhand. I love the way the pros use their offhand and get it way up there. So guys, let's just copy Ben Shelton. What does he like to do? He likes to, notice first of all, he's got a wide base, right? So he's got a nice wide base. And what he likes to do is step up. He actually steps slightly to the outside, which I'm not crazy about. I would actually prefer that my students, right? I mean, we're not changing Ben Shelton serve, so forget that. But I prefer my students more come to the inside of the shoe, more the outside, because then most recreational players start to rotate too soon. Ben Shelton's got that down. He's got the kinetic chain down. So we don't need to change his serve. So now what we want to work on is, can we work on lifting our box and including our legs? So, and getting this arm up as tall as possible. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up into that position, and we're going to bend our legs to where we feel comfortable. See, this is where I feel comfortable. I feel like if I go much lower than that, like Ben Shelton's probably way down here, I start to feel like I don't know if I can get back up. So I'm not going to go as low as Ben goes. So I'm going to have the knee bend that is deep for me, but I also feel strength and power that I can go up after the serve, right? So that's what I want to do. I want to feel like, can I get the strength and power so I can go up after the serve? Because that's going to be super important. So that's what I want you to do right now, is first just go into that freeze frame, just freeze frame it, and see if you can get to that secret power source. And then once you get that, then I want you to bend the legs and jump up and do some practice swings. So we're just going to do 3 practice swings right here. Ah, oh yeah, that's an ace. That's an ace. Let's try it again. Ah, oh man, I'm on fire. I play so much better without the tennis ball actually hitting. And then the third one. Ah, okay, very cool. Let's go into the next progression drills, then we're going to put them both together. So guys, now we're going to work on the swinging action. Okay, we're going to work on the swinging action. And one of the things that pros do differently than the Joes is they are on the edge. They're coming up on edge of the tennis ball into that last possible frame, and then they're hitting the ball. And that's what we saw Ben Shelton do. So a great drill you can do here is with your net strap is you can come down here and just first of all practice hitting the edge on a net strap. And I want you to actually change. Notice I'm coming really close by the ear right now. So I want you to change that a little bit too, because a lot of recreational players, when they serve, they're by their ear. The pros actually swing out. Notice how we saw Ben Shelton swing out. So you're going to change your angle a little bit. And instead of just going like this, you're going to swing out. You're going to swing out. And imagine that when I'm making contact here, imagine that I'm actually hitting it up there, okay? But this is a good, easy way to where you can see what you're doing. It's one of the tough things about serve is when we're doing stuff, we have to go on trust. We really can't be that aware of what's going on up there. Everything's happening so fast. But here I can clearly see I'm swinging out and I'm hitting that net strap. The next thing I'm going to do is at the last second, I'm going to do that, okay? So that's where that kind of Pete Sampras looks come in, where Ben Shelton's like that. Whoa, it looks so cool when he does that, right? So now that's what we're going to practice. We're going to come out, but then we're going to hit there. See, I'm going out, and then I'm getting that just in time to hit that tennis ball. So you practice that. Now we're going to the next progression. Isn't this fun? See, this is stuff anybody out there can do. It's just a matter, are you going to get off the couch? You're going to just not watch this video and I like that. Are you going to get off the couch and actually do this exercise today? That's the big challenge I have for you. Okay, so now we're almost ready to put this all together, but we definitely want to make sure we get this right. We noticed that when Ben Shelton was serving, that his elbow is way out here, guys. It was what I call the power L position. Look at this. This is a power L, and this is a weak L. The more your elbow moves out this way, which I see lots of recreational players do, right? And you get ready to serve like this, you're losing so much power. The more you can get back in the power L position, the better. So a great way to find this is just to come almost into the racket drop position by putting the racket on top of your head like this. A lot of recreational players, when I see them do this, watch what they do. This is what we don't want to do. We don't want to squeeze it and go like this. I see lots of recreational players listen to me. They listen to me, and then they're trying super hard, and they're here. No, make sure you're here. Kick that elbow out. Push the elbow out this way if you have to. Just take it and push it. And then you get in this position, and then what you can do is then you can work on that move from getting here, bending the legs, getting the racket drop, and then popping the ball over the fence. This is a lot of fun. And again, you notice that Ben Shelton's kick serve when we showed in the beginning, notice how short it landed in the box and then how high it went. And so this is because he's got such great feel in his hands, his shoulder, his arms, that all this feels, it's a live arm and it's a live wrist. And this is how you can do that, because lots of recreational players, when I show them this drill, it seems simple, but they keep hitting all their serves, right, wrong because they're pushing through it. They have a very tough time getting the ball in the box right in front of them. So if you want to have great racket head speed and feel in your shoulders, everything, your arm and your wrist, then do this drill. Ben Shelton, pop. Oh my gosh, that is fun. You see that? I'm going to do one more. I'm going to sacrifice one more tennis ball for this video and in dedication of Ben Shelton's amazing serve. And we're going to pop this one 2 over the fence. We're going to get here. You know what? I got to get guys, I got to show you. these balls are just a little too good, okay? And I can do this with a dead ball. So I'm going to get a dead ball that I don't even care about. I'm still going to pop it over the fence. Okay, this is much better. This ball has seen better days. So we're going to put it into the tennis graveyard right now, Ben Shelton style. So I'm going to come here and still doesn't matter. Dead ball over the fence. So do that drill. That drill is a lot harder than it looks. And if you're struggling to do it, keep working on it. Keep working on it, okay? Now, what we're going to do from there, I've already got that one down. I don't want to hit any more balls over the fence. So what you want to do to finish this exercise is you want to do the popcorn drill, okay? So let me show you how this works. Okay, guys, so the popcorn drill, and you have the option, if you don't have this move down yet, just do this the whole time so you can get this elbow of the enemy move. If you've got this down and you want to try that rhythm of Ben Shelton getting here, keeping the racket going this way, then you can start here, pop one as hard as you can. If you can get over the fence and you know you're doing it right. I've already done that. I don't want to sacrifice more balls. Then what you want to do is take about 2 or 3 steps back. And again, what we're going to do, and I'm just going to do the whole time, you know what, I'll mix it up. This first one, though, I'm going to stay on the head. I really like the way that feels. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here and, bah! Oh no, don't go over the fence. I did not mean to hit that over the fence. That just goes to show how explosive my serve is. I did not mean that. I'm going to have to go out there and get that. That was an awesome ball. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move a couple more feet back. Again, Ben Shelton style. Ah! Okay. Just taking it a little easier so I don't pop them anymore over the fence. All right. And again, I just move back here. Now, you know what I'll do? I'll see if I can put it together. I'll see if I can do this move together. Ben Shelton style. Ah! Oh, this is so fun. Then we're going to come back here. Again, Ben Shelton style. Ah! And then finally back to the baseline. Ah! 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 There you go, guys. That's how you bulletproof your serve like Ben Shelton. How would you like to bulletproof your entire tennis game? That's why pros don't have just one coach. Did you know that? They have a team. They build teams. Why? Because did you know there's 6 pillars to tennis improvement? And in order to play at the highest level, you need to be kind of mastering all 6 pillars. What are they? I'm going to give you a little test. What are they? They're the technical. We just worked on our technical serve. They're the tactics and strategy. There's the mental game, which is super important, right? Novak Djokovic, he believes he can win. That's why he wins so much. Ben Shelton's starting to believe he can win. That's why he wins. And then there's also the physical and the environmental. What's the physical? It's being physically fit so you can go up there and hit serves like Ben Shelton hits it and run down balls and play for several hours and not get injured. So there's a lot that goes into making a great tennis player. And that's what I have available for you with TennisCon 7. We're going to help you bulletproof your tennis game. So go to TennisCon7.com right now. Get your free ticket. This event's going to be starting in October. We have 40 of the best coaches on the planet. I call them the tennis coaching dream team. They're full of Grand Slam champions and people who've helped people at every level, people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube. And their mission is to help you play with bulletproof confidence, because once you start working on these 6 pillars and you start to get good at them and you know that you're doing great work, your confidence level is going to shoot through the sky. You're going to be playing those matches with bulletproof confidence. You're going to be winning more. So go to TennisCon7.com right now. Sign up. We'll see you guys on the next video.